So Sam Altman sent out an internal memo at OpenAI labeled Code Red. And the reason Sam Altman sent out this memo is simply because they realized that they're actually screwed. Because not too long ago, Sam Altman sent out a different internal memo called Code Orange. And that memo was meant to say, hey guys, we're falling behind in terms of AI. And OpenAI falling behind in terms of AI is really bad because it's kind of the only thing they do. And Code Orange was a warning that they're falling behind. Code Red means they've fallen behind, and they have. So you can imagine if Sam Altman is sending out a Code Red warning to the OpenAI team, he really feels like they're screwed or about to be. And I can see why he thinks that, because OpenAI has lost their entire lead. They came out with ChatGPT out of nowhere and everyone was thrown off guard, but now everyone else has caught up. Like, OpenAI is no longer the special AI company that's going to bring us AGI. They are just a company that makes AI models, and arguably the worst ones. There's a reason you don't hear anyone really talking about using ChatGPT in a way that is actually productive or good for them. Like, the only people who are using ChatGPT are people talking to ChatGPT. That is it. No one is using ChatGPT for coding. Everyone's using Anthropic for that. And no one is using ChatGPT for research. Everyone's using Gemini. And there was already a lot of people using different AI tools besides OpenAI. Like, Google Gemini has been pretty popular for a while now. Claude has also been pretty popular for a while now. None of these things are really new. But what is new is OpenAI not having a lead in any kind of technology. Like, OpenAI used to be the go-to for a few different things, but now everyone is spread out a lot, and the only people that OpenAI seems to attract are people who don't pay for, ChatGPT. Like, 95% of OpenAI users are just free, which just burns money for OpenAI. It seems like the people who talk to ChatGPT are people who are just entering AI psychosis or want an AI partner. That's pretty much it. I don't see many people talk about OpenAI in the context of a business at all. I see people talk about Gemini in that context for research. I see people talk about Claude. I don't see anyone talk about OpenAI. And when it comes to user numbers too, there's a lot of concerning data for OpenAI. Like, for example, Google Gemini users went up by like 200 million in a few months because Google released a nano banana image generator, which is honestly insanely concerning, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw the release of this, but it can just fabricate entire things, and the only watermark is this little thing, which can be easily removed in Photoshop, like I just did. It is insane to me that this kind of thing just exists out there in the world. It seems like a tool you wouldn't just let anyone use, but they do. And then Google also has VO3, the video generator, which is also insanely concerning. But regardless of how concerning I feel like these things are as like tools that exist, they did boost Gemini's sub numbers, which made OpenAI really scared. Now you're probably wondering, what is Sam Altman actually planning to do to make ChatGPT better? Because so far they have not done a good job at that. Everyone was expecting ChatGPT 5 to actually be a game changer, and it was barely anything. And this kind of pissed off like everybody because they hyped it up a lot and made it sound like it was gonna basically be AGI, and it's not even close. So how does OpenAI and Sam Altman plan to make ChatGPT 5 actually superior to everyone else? Well, the first step is to pause the implementation of advertising. This honestly seems to be the main thing that they're stopping for now, which is insane to me. I don't think any of these chat models should have advertising in them. I know that's never gonna happen, okay? I know that's never gonna happen. But a chatbot should not have any advertising in it. It is insane that we are allowing companies to do this because it could just manipulate you to get you to buy things. Like, it is crazy you are letting people advertise using a chatbot that is designed to manipulate people, especially when it comes to OpenAI, because it's kind of like the one thing they're really good at, manipulating people. Like, anyone who's had AI psychosis has most definitely been talking to ChatGPT. You don't hear about Gemini users having AI psychosis. And I'm sure there's a few cases of all of these things causing someone severe mental distress, okay? But from what I've seen, ChatGPT definitely gets the craziest people. My mind always goes to the lady who fell in love with their psychiatrist. This was a multi-hour long TikTok series where a woman was convinced her psychiatrist was in love with her because ChatGPT validated all of her opinions. And the best part about that series is she doesn't get to the point where she talks about ChatGPT being involved until like an hour in. It's insane. But none of these tools should have advertising because, one, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having an AI to begin with. Like, yeah, we built this thing to aggregate all the results of the internet to give you the best result possible to fit what you requested, but we put advertising in it, so now it's useless. Like, having artificial intelligence that just shoves ads in people's faces defeats the whole point of artificial intelligence. I'm sorry. And AI is one of the worst things you can shitify with advertising. Like, it is one of the dumbest things you could do with this kind of technology. So at the very least, it's a good thing that OpenAI is currently pausing the ad program for now, but they're definitely going to bring it back in the future, so who really cares? OpenAI will also be delaying the release of Pulse, an AI companion they've been working on in the background. I don't know what this would have been realistically, like, at all, but all we know is they're pausing it to work on ChatGPT. That's pretty much it. And within this memo from Sam Altman, that's pretty much it. There's not much else to this besides make ChatGPT better. So I am assuming that OpenAI is planning to make it do better on benchmarks, as well as just make it more accurate in general to have it compete with Gemini and Claude. That's probably all there is to it. But there is a non-zero chance that OpenAI cannot come back from this, because here's the thing. They make no money, okay? OpenAI makes no money. And when it comes to having money, OpenAI also has no money. But Google has a lot of money, and they practically have infinite money. And Google also has way more data to train with than OpenAI. I think it is really, really unlikely that OpenAI can just close this gap very easily. I think they're gonna have a lot of trouble closing this gap. Also, they're gonna have a lot of trouble getting people to switch. If you are someone who uses Gemini or Claude, I doubt you're likely to just switch the model if it's slightly better. Like, OpenAI would have to release something genuinely really impressive to make people switch over. This might just be the end of OpenAI, at least for the next couple years. And I'm not saying that lightly, because here's the thing. This company needs to spawn $200 billion in revenue a year from nowhere within like a couple months. That's what they need to do, and they can't do that. I don't see a world where OpenAI can compete with companies that have infinite money when they need $200 billion more a year to remotely break even. Like, that is insane. And then all the people who are using ChatGPT don't pay for it. And I don't see a world where OpenAI could just magically make ChatGPT 5 better. I think they tried really hard with ChatGPT 5 and failed. I don't think they could just make a better version of ChatGPT. I think they're kind of stuck. And I also don't see a world where they can get most of their users to start paying money. And even then, can they pay enough money to dig OpenAI out of the hole they've dug themselves? I don't think they can. And even if OpenAI does all the things they said they're going to do to make money, like introduce AI girlfriends and boyfriends and stuff like that, I don't think it'll be enough to make up for $200 billion in revenue. I don't think it will. Like, no amount of advertising on ChatGPT will reach $200 billion. Like, this is an insane amount of money that you start making within like a year, and I don't see a way they can do that. And as much as Sam Altman likes asking investors for money, he can't just keep doing that if his model isn't the best model. Like, if Sam Altman isn't making the best model there is, what is the point in giving him your money? There's literally no point. And at this point too, everyone knows AGI is not a thing, okay? Everyone understands this. What are they working towards? What is OpenAI working towards that's worth billions upon billions upon billions of dollars? What is OpenAI making that is worth that much money? The answer is probably nothing, okay? I don't think they're making anything that is worth nearly this much money. So OpenAI's future is looking really, really rocky. I genuinely don't know how much longer they'll hold on, especially if they don't have a good release very, very soon. Because it seems like everyone's kind of fed up with Sam Altman telling everyone that AGI is around the corner. I think everyone's tired of it. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're new, and click the answers down, check out more of my content, and have a good one.